All right, let me start with. Well, welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Anjanette, and I appreciate everyone for coming today to this very special Zoom. I wanted to do a Zoom specifically for realtors because I'm a realtor, and with realtors and with investors and with mortgage lenders, this is a really tough time. So I wanted to have a space to invite my colleagues to share with them something that I am so blessed to have found, which is Purium and a residual income that literally we get 64 paychecks a year, which has been so amazing during these tough times that us realtors, investors, and mortgage lenders are facing, because as we know, we look at the graphics, we all get them, we look in the morning, see how prices are, houses are sitting there, people aren't wanting to come get loans, they're even afraid to finance, and pretty much our industry isn't at a standstill, but it's at a place to where there's not a lot of movement. And we sometimes have to wait. Houses aren't selling like they were at the beginning of the year, where, we'd be getting checks every 17, 21 days when we're able to close loans really fast. Now houses are sitting between 30, 60 days, and people just are kind of afraid to move. And that's why I wanted to invite my real estate investor friends to today. And I have some amazing speakers that are going to share with us their experience, as well as why they've chosen to add residual income to their portfolios and add something that's going to give you a residual income from week to week, and still be able to work it into your real estate, your investing, or your lending job, whatever that is, whichever you're representing today. And I just want to, again, thank everyone. Thank Eric and Allison and Jared for joining us, and all of you. So we're not going to take a whole lot of your time today, because we want to honor your time and honor that we're all busy. We all have a lot to do, but I really just wanted to share and let them share why. So for me, why I chose to add residual income to my portfolio is because I really was looking for health reasons. And so the residual for me was secondary. So we are people who we have chosen a more organic, holistic lifestyle. And it's hard to find companies that honor that. And even harder when you're looking for companies that respect the land, respect farmers, and realizing that we don't need to use chemicals, and we need to take care of our land, and therefore by using regenerative farming. So we had a tall order to find something that was organic, something that was regenerative, and something that didn't use chemicals. But then Purium just came to us. And how it did that is my husband was going through some health issues, and just really looking for all the companies he was part of, found a company that, helped him get a gut reset. But it only lasted, we paid over $3,000 for it. They gave him this 4-month plan. He checked in with them once a month, had to find his own support group. But then there was no aftercare. We were looking for aftercare. And that's where Purium, I found my friend Grace and was talking to her. I met with her and Taz. And then as they shared more and more, like you're going to hear in a few minutes from Allison and Jared and Eric, what Purium has to offer about our amazing products, and about how getting this residual income and adding it to your portfolio, not only it's like a win-win in so many different areas. We're winning because we are putting the most best, not even correct language, but best nutrition into our bodies. It's organic, it's plant-based, and you feel better. So we get to invest in our health. Then if you decide to join us as partners, then you're investing in your future on whatever time frame that looks and how that looks for you. But even as when you come in, whether you come in as just a customer or as a brand partner, there's an incredible community who you're seeing a few today that you get. And there's just not that kind of community that I found out there who also are business partners. So this has been an amazing addition to our life. It's been amazing because over this last few months in the real estate industry, when I've had to wait for my commission check, I didn't have to wait for my Purium check. It comes every Friday. And once a month, we get double paydays. And not to mention all the bonuses and different things that are out there that we can go into on a later time. But I just really want to now turn it over to Allison and Jared and let them share for a few minutes while they have decided to partner with Purium and add residual income to their portfolio. Thanks, Allison and Jared.
Thank you, Angie. And your excitement is contagious, and watching your transformation physically has been so inspiring to so many. And yes, so from a health standpoint, as you're saying, like realtors are always on the go. I know that they're subject to, drive-throughs and whatever's convenient. They're sitting a lot. And this has been, I know for, my friends who I've shared this with who are realtors, this has been a lifesaver for them on the health side, but as well as you were saying with the business model, because it lends itself so perfectly. I mean, real estate agents happen to be amazing networkers. They have to be, and they're always, meeting new people. And this is something you can take with you. It seamlessly becomes part of your life. And so it's not adding enough, because I know real estate agents are super busy. It's not adding something to take away. It's actually going to just seamlessly add into their life. And my cousin is a great example, someone I brought in who's now just really, actually, it's even helped her even in her real estate business getting into Purium. So it's really interesting how it plays. But so for us, we were investors. My family's been in finance, investing. I personally really believed in buying real estate. We invested when we got married. The money we got went right to buying a home. And that's something that sits there. Yes, it's appreciating. I mean, with the markets now, we don't, who knows where it's at now, but it's, yes, it's sitting there. And so we're not getting money from that. I mean, we are renting out a property, and that we're collecting just to basically pay the mortgage, but it's really just, I'll let Jared speak to that a little bit because he can speak to more the investor side of it, but this has been money in our pocket. This has been something that we're able to, an investment that keeps on growing exponentially. We don't have to wait for years and years and years till it appreciates, or investment in stocks that we have that, it's money on paper. It's not in our hands. So this is why I love Purium. It's just helped us tremendously on the health side, and helped us to network, helped us to meet more people, and really get out of, on so many levels, it's just helped us become, the best version of ourselves. So I'm going to let Jared speak a little bit too.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Angie. So much like the food itself and the gut health protocol is very unique, the business opportunity as well, really unique, and it actually transformed our lives as well. The health transformation was undeniable for both of us. And when we realized how many perks were associated with becoming a distributor, it just made sense. I slowly phased out of my full-time job to part-time to freelance to committing full-time to Purium because of the opportunity and the uncapped income potential, the wealth generating machine that we're creating wasn't possible in any other career. And in terms of investing, like Allison said, our real estate investment will pay off eventually. But in the meantime, we need to build a savings. We need to have liquid assets and income that we could, if we hit a hard time or whatever, then we're not struggling. So it's given us really solid peace of mind knowing that we're building this. And the idea of a consumable business like this, and we have a very high retention rate. The people who start on this gut health ritual stick with it because they realize when they go off of it, the bad habits come back, their illness comes back, their low energy. So this becomes their new food filter, their new food ritual. So anyone who's struggling with food deserts, with being on the go, with not being able to get organic produce, which is even difficult for us, and we have a lot of access, this fills in the blanks health-wise. And then it's just a no-brainer to have this investment opportunity on the side. Just commit a small percentage of your day to building this, and if you don't quit, it will turn into something major like it did for us.
Also, health is the number one investment we can really make. Without our health, there is no wealth. And so it is a smart investment, and it's so easy. I think the convenience of it is really what makes it so unique, that we're able to just have while we were traveling, we really noticed the benefit of having these superfoods with us. So
all you need is clean water. And in terms of the networking possibilities that come from this, it's expanded our reach 1,000-fold because just the way people share this. So we're meeting a lot of new people, a lot of different opportunities presenting themselves. Obviously, Purium is our main focus, but we are encountering new people with amazing potential who want to be involved. So it's just limitless in that sense, and that's why we have and it's due to incredible leadership and mentorship from people like Eric Mish. So would you want to introduce Eric?
Well, maybe Angie will. So I'll hand it back to Angie. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison and Jared. And the two things I just want to touch on, because it's really important, the networking part is vital. And I know as realtors and lenders, one reason why we're in this business is because we get to help people. And one thing, like I say all the time, is with Purium and with my real estate, I get to help people get healthy from the inside out and helping them find a place to call home. So what's better is creating that better health and helping them get into a home. But also for realtors and investors, this week, I usually, most realtors, I don't know about you, but I've put almost probably 300 or 400 miles in like a couple of days. Last Monday, I put 600 miles in one day on my car. So being able to start, because we had to go out of town with some family for some families that I'm working with, and having this as part of my on-the-go office is a must, because I can just put my powders in here pre-measured with my super aminos and my other B energy and my other supplements that I love to take. And it's so easy. Like Jared said, you just add water. So for those of us or we don't know if we're going to have time to eat sometimes. And so we just don't know where sometimes when our next meal is going to be, when we're going to have a break, because I know several times this week, there's been things I didn't plan on happening on my real estate with a deal I'm doing, and you just have to stop everything and handle it right then. So that's another, just the convenience, and that you have the best nutrition available to you is something I love about this. So now I would really love to introduce Eric Mish. He is an amazing mentor. He has helped us in so many ways as far as mentoring, guidance, and just really being there when we needed to ask some questions as far as to how to help people better. And his availability to us is amazing. And we appreciate his mentorship and just appreciate him as a business partner. And here's Eric.
Well, thank you for that kind introduction, Angie. And it's a pleasure to be here. My background is in corporate sales, and while it's a little different than real estate sales, at least what I was doing before, I should say entrepreneurship and corporate sales. So I started in entrepreneurship, ended up eventually working for a Fortune 200 company for about 15 years. There's a lot of similarities, and one of the things that led me to Purium, and specifically organic dehydrated superfoods, was the busy lifestyle that I led. And in corporate sales, it's time is of a premium. 60, 70 hour, 80-hour work weeks were not uncommon. And so my biggest challenge was eating healthy while on the go. So when you said putting on the miles on your car, Angie, I pretty much lived in my car for 15 years. Let's say 80% of my day was spent on the road. And so when you're running around from one appointment to the next, and on the road a lot, is not really time to stop and have a full meal all the time. And for most people, when they do, if they do, it's unfortunately an unhealthy option. Maybe run through a drive-through, or something that's quick and cheap. And that's definitely not the way to achieve optimal and vibrant health. So while I looked around and I saw a lot of peers were doing that and suffering, I said, you know what, I need something better. And fortunately, Purium came into my life at the perfect time. And at that time, I was also suffering from some immune deficiencies. I had gotten the swine flu a few years prior to that, and I was feeling some long haul effects, very susceptible to getting sick. I would get the flu 3 to 4 times a year. And my worst year, I'll never forget, because you can almost correlate my W-2 earnings to how I was doing health-wise. The years that I was really sick, my earnings went way down. I would lose 20 to 30% of my average annual income on years where I was really sick, where I got the flu multiple times. So it hit me straight in the pocket. There's like that hurt. I mean, of course, it's no one wants to be sick, and you miss time. And even when I was back, I wasn't myself, full energy levels and so forth. But to see it make that financial impact makes it real. And so I also noticed on years that I was not as sick, my income went up, probably because I was missing less time. I was more productive when I was working, and just a happier person. And probably more clients wanted to do business with me for that, because of that. So when I found Purium, it was a real game changer. What I experienced was more energy. I did end up getting a lot leaner just by accident. Wasn't even trying to do that. I just really was trying to feel better. But again, my immune system really improved as a result. So did my income. And so that was really awesome. Then came this business model along with it. And that really, I was not expecting that. And that just came as a result of sharing the benefits, my story with people, as well as tapping into this unique marketing system called our gift card marketing system. I started sharing those gift cards. I was sharing them with some clients of mine. I shared them with some family members, neighbors, friends, really anyone that was interested in taking their health to the next level. And one of the people I shared them with was my cousin, Sonia, who was a real estate investor and broker in Tampa, very successful, super successful, actually. And so I shared some gift cards with her, and her husband, they decided to do a 30-day ultimate lifestyle reset just to get themselves back on track health-wise. And amazingly, being a realtor, this turned out to be an incredible business for her. And one of the questions I asked her, which really got her thinking, was, do you have a residual income component in your portfolio? And so she never thought about that. She said, wait a minute, that's interesting, because I'm in a very transactional business. And as you mentioned, Angie, it's feast or famine sometimes. You close that $2 million deal and then you go 8 months without a deal, because they take a considerable amount of work and effort on average, depending on the market. And so she said it would be nice to have some residual income coming in between. And so she started sharing. Of course, her and her husband had an amazing transformation. They started sharing it again with some of the people in their network, and it just took off from there. And so what started as just sharing a few gift cards with people ended up turning into a few hundred people within a short period of time. That turned into a few thousand people, tens of thousands of people. And now 10 years later, I have over 70,000 customers and partners in my business in 2 different continents all around the world. So it's pretty amazing. The real shift for my cousin was when she realized after about 3 or 4 months in, and her Purium check came in the mail. I guess she wasn't on direct deposit yet. So her Purium check came in, and she said, she told her husband, she said, hey, I just realized that the income we generated from Purium last month equals the profit from one of our rental properties. So that was like mind blowing to her. She's like, we invested, whatever we invested in that rental property, whatever equity she had in there, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, whatever, to generate, about $1,000 a month or whatever it was of cash flow. And she said, well, wait a minute, my Purium business is generating that, but we didn't have to make that huge, massive cash investment to generate that. We don't have the hassle of dealing with tenants and, the plumbing breaks at, midnight on a Friday night and all those hassles. So it was really eye-opening for her. And that motivated her to want to take it further. Today, she's working her Purium business full-time. And she's making more, but she's doing it with a lot more time and location freedom. And I think that was the real thing she was looking for, as many of us are, because being a realtor, she was working easy, top performer, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And there were times when we were talking on a Saturday night and she was out. I remember one time she called me at 10 o'clock. I said, where are you? She said, I'm showing a house right now. I'm like, at 10 o'clock on a Saturday? She's like, well, that's when people can meet. They're working during the day, So she was working all sorts of odd hours. And, now she's enjoys an incredible lifestyle with her husband, Doug. They have a lot of fun. They moved to St. Pete. They live by the beach, and, they love hanging out at the beach a lot, and traveling and doing all the things that they do. So residual income is where it's at, and in particular, leverage and residual income. And so it's helped me transition out of my corporate career. But even if you just incorporate this as part of your total income portfolio, it is amazing. It is absolutely the thing to do. And especially now, it's absolutely imperative. And we're in I want to say a recession resistant industry, because this is food based. So if you look at the data on that, what types of products or goods and services are quite stable during a recession, food is in that category. It's in the top like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 items that seem to do pretty well actually during recession, because no matter what, people got to eat food, right? Well, we're in the food industry, but we're actually in the super food industry. So it's why we're considered an essential goods manufacturer. So even during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, Purium stayed open, still making superfoods and delivering them, farm to family concept. So it's really important that people have this kind of a income stream in their portfolio, especially looking forward to what may be coming in the next 12 months, which a lot of experts are expecting a global recession, and it's going to affect us here in the United States as well. So it's perfect timing to not only take our health to the next level, but also to stabilize our financial well-being and help others do the same, which is what we're doing. And that's worth more than any Purium check, right? It's satisfying and gratifying to be able to help people in that way. So Angie, thank you for the opportunity to share my story, and turn it back over to you now.
Well, I just appreciate you, Eric and Allison and Jared and all of you for joining us today. And I hope and thank you for coming. And I hope it gave you some, and I guess a pun intended, food for thought, because we are talking about superfoods, but about adding that residual income to your portfolio and getting those weekly checks. And as Eric shared how it turned into something amazing for himself and Allison, for her and Jared, and for his cousin, and for so many more that we couldn't fit all of them on here. And if you'd like to I know I invited some of you, and I know some of you were invited by other people. So I want to invite you to get with the person who either sent you this recording, because we are recording it for future use. So get with the person who sent you this recording. They have a gift card for you, or if you were able to join us live, get with the person who invited you, and they as well have a gift card for you. And you can also look at isharepurium.com, but really take the moment to just thank the person who invited you. Get with them. If they would be happy to answer any questions you have. And if you have more questions, they can schedule you a time to connect with another business partner, and we just love to share with people how this has not only transformed us physically, emotionally, it just multiple benefits, but also we're talking today about financially. So I want to thank all of you again for coming, and please get with the person who invited you or sent you this recording, or if you didn't join live, then who sent you this recording. And like I said, they have a gift card for you, and our truly aim is to help people get healthy from the inside out, because the quality of food you take is the life that is a reflection of the life you have. I think that's pretty close to what Dave says, but it's truly true. And appreciate you, Eric, for putting that link in the chat. And you all have an amazing afternoon, and we look forward to sharing with you more and more. Have an amazing day. And again, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie, for hosting. Great job.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.